when you do vibraphone, remember now vibraphone is to do Amazing Grace, but really thinking concert wind band. Now, I'm not just going to write. I'm going to stop every time I have an idea in my head myself frequently and try and explain my decisions to you.
Hi, you are watching part 5 of the video today. If you have not seen the previous videos leading up to this one, they are in the link below. Please do have a look. I split it up in different videos in a series just because it will make it a little bit easier for you.
Okay, so verse 2 is sort of in the back, but now it's just saxophones playing and a little bit of percussion at this moment, and when it sounds pretty full, I need to now look at what ingredients. This is ingredients part, we're not in sketching. So while I'm listening through and see where can I add, not adding more things necessarily, more ideas. That's not what we want to do here. Just that final touch up that you do with the paintbrush. The final touch up. Where can we add things? Maybe it's dynamics. Maybe it's just an instrument making somebody stronger. So I'm just going through that exercise now. Okay, I need a nice big row here on the bar before the key change. I'm going to show you how I do this. Add instruments sporadically. Some on the first beat, some later. Big crescendos, staying out of the way of where the melody needs to start. Well, I can play E flat, most of them can. I'm just going to double it up. No, in fact, remember now, I put my camera on. Remember now, a bass trombone is thicker. It's got a bit of a wider bore on it, but it's the same pitch harmonically as a tenor trombone. There's nothing wrong. Bass tromboners can do this, and I want all the punch I can get. So, my bass trombone is not this guy's going to be in heaven. He's thinking, hey, finally, I have a melody to play. Remember that. Okay, you see how it's all coming together? And let's play that for you one more time so you can hear. This is not coming out the horns or not coming out the way I wanted it to, but nice. I have more things in the same range. So I'm not even going to play around. I'm not even going to make this hard for myself at all. So let's take the first three there. Take it straight to the alto saxophones. Okay, so the saxophones, and saxophone is just a reed a tone higher. It's a perfect 6 up from concert. So it's going to be in the same range. You see, if I don't think I can ask the tenor saxes to help the trombones if necessary. Let's just hear which requirement. We will do it if it's necessary later. Made that idea a little stronger. The trumpet would have been the best, but I don't want the trumpet to do that. I want them to help with the change, with the key change. So more time, same place. So far, we have not added an electric bass yet. Again, we'll see in the end if we're going to. I want to keep it strong, so I don't want to go. You know, I'm not saying it before the time as I teach. If you want to hear it in my head, you just need to know your intervals. So you hear the interval in your head and you know where you're going. For the sake of argument, this bass line needs to be strong. So definitely bassoon, and bass sax and bass clarinet. All the above. Now let's just check the ranges. These are D flats. It's got the same problem, so let's just do them one by one. Where's transpose features, right? D flats. So I'm adding the F on purpose. Not that it's really necessary, but it would be silly to play down down. So just make the line more melodically if you're going to play the top. These B flats are possible. So to see what I do here, I just make it melodically make sense. Must make sense to the guy playing always. Okay, bassoon, simple. Lowest note is a B flat. If it's lower than a B flat, you're in trouble, which is the case here. I flat B flat's fine. This will make some interesting music. All we did now is copy the bass line to all the bass players in the band and different colors. Because this is big and fortissimo, I don't even think too much about colors, just want a pretty sound. Now, from here on, it's more a case of what does your ears tell you. So all I'm going to do is get my strong melody, the way I was doing it in the sketching, get my strong melody out there all the way through with the instrument that it should be. And then we're going to fill in blanks because we want almost pretty to play all the time. And this is high for the first trumpet. I certainly cannot let all my trumpets try and go play that high. It's just asking. Being a trumpet player, I can tell you, playing this high for long notes like this at a fortissimo level, which we are asking them to do, we'll see if we can bring it down to forte here. We might not, but it's going to take a whole lot of air. You see red faces for sure. I'm going to do my slurs. That is certainly not only one trumpet. Okay, there's one of those golden pebbles. This is not even all that high, it's only a B flat, but when you get higher, especially when you start doing screamers, high notes on trumpets work when you give them the support at the bottom. It doesn't have to be from another trumpet, but it works from the best with other trumpets, or at least trombone, something else high in the harmonic series. So what I'm going to do, just to illustrate a point, right, I'm copying it in unison for all the trumpets, but it's not going to stay that way. For the third trumpet, I'm looking at my third trumpet, that's fine. For the orchestral player, for the school band player, not so much. So all of that, I'm going to bring down an octave. Hear the difference when the octaves start to play. Where if you don't have it's still the last trumpet there at the top, you don't hear it that well, but I'm going to bring that to exactly the same with the second. I think it's going to get stronger. Of course, we're talking about tutti players here, and again, symphony orchestra, these are 3 trumpets. Wind band, 5, 6 trumpets, 2 understand, 1 understand. Usually what the bands do is they put more than one first trumpet, and the guys would take turns in places like this because it's heavy on the chops, on the armorship. But what you're asking for is a tutti sound. It's a tutti, it's strong. So we will see if it's going to stay in unison or we're going to do a little bit of harmony. I suspect not. I think I'm going to stay unison here. Just by the way, when I listened to this, I decided to stay in the root, but not happy. I might go to first inversion. Yep. Good for the goose. Now, what we did in the first and the second verse was just fill in with chords here and there, maybe a little thing. If you have to, if something like this, you listen, even if it means you listen 4 or 5 times until your head starts arranging and you start improvising and you start doing things. Yeah, this is what I hear. Then go right there. Okay, so I'm going to go back a little. Okay. This poor one flute had no chance over all those guys to bring this out. In fact, I am not even convinced I can make it strong enough with all the instruments that I want to copy it to. I think there's still a whole bunch of guys hoping to bring this melody through. I'll just check the ranges. That might, it's in range for an oboe. Yeah, I don't want to hear this is not so much in range for a soprano. So let's just see if it's got any effect. Never underestimate the piccolo. This is the thing. Big marching bands, you hear the bass drum a kilometer away. If you're lucky, you hear the cymbals quite far. If there's a marching glockenspiel, you hear that 2 kilometers away. And the other thing that cuts through everything is a piccolo. That's why I love them. But it's not just a piccolo. If you listen carefully, you hear the other winds are helping and supporting it. You have to have a foundation to build a high building. Just listen up. Blending instruments gives you new piccolos. Listen. This is what I love about arranging. All of you, 100,000 people can do the same piece, and 100,000 different ideas will come every year. And 99,000 of them will probably be very good ideas. All of them. As an arranger, this is why I love it. As an arranger, you get to choose who plays what, where, and how they're going to play it. Technically, all I have now is in the second part, I have a melody. There's a little bit of happening in the horns. If I have a melody, I've got a little bit of a counter melody happening here. And I've got the harmonic rhythm is not fully there, I don't think. Unless it's all covered here between the saxophone and this. Okay, now I did actually cover all the harmonies. So it's already there. So I can just fill up where necessary now. There's going to be some percussion happening here. I don't want to repeat that. So we're going to do something else. There's definitely some percussion that's required in all of this. Very, very orchestral percussion. I don't want to do good back. Good back. I want to keep this more classical. Okay, trumpets, not going to play. Okay, so what? It's only the clarinettes. Okay, so fine. What can we do with clarinets? I'm just going to help this because it's not coming through. So without overthinking this at all, it's all in beautiful range. This is transpose pitch. Cor anglais is basically it's a horn chord, French for horn. Well, let's do help the horn. Hold on, second bar done. Let's think about. Okay, I hear it in my head already. Is this the right key? Yes. Okay, slurring like that from a A flat to a D flat is kind of hard. It's not impossible, but hard. Okay, I would actually, that color note, which is not perfectly in the chord there, but it might come through as a color note. Again, now this is a strong kind of counter melody, so it needs all the help it can get. Otherwise, it's not going to cut through, except it is fortissimo, it is a French horn, it is high in harmonic series of a French horn. We're working with 4 valves here, so it should cut through everything nicely if you use it correctly. Also, again, as a tutti sound, ask my cor anglais to help. I'm not keen to do it with all 4s, but we will if we have to. Let's just listen if it's required. If this is fortissimo, I'm going to need all the help I can get. I can hear that. So I'm bringing it through. It's definitely in range for all the players. That's not a problem. It's just the last chord. We can split it a little. I don't think that's a problem. That's just a passing note, which is a temporary suspension. It's not going to bother me too much. Now, it's easy to just take the chords where it's just subdominant and fill up chords here. I don't want to do that. Of course, we're going to do that, but I want to do that artistically. Now, I need to do it, now that melody is coming through, I need to do it in a way this would have been all strings in other circumstances, but I want movement and I want good movement. Now you can give this to any clarinet player because it's not going across the break. I'm in transpose pitch. In this particular case, I'm not going to take, sometimes I take the solo clarinet up an octave. I don't think it would be necessary here. So I'm just going to take in the chord because I don't want at any given stage the third not to be there. So I want to make sure, because you can get away without the fifth and the tonic is obviously there. So to take the risk out of the way, so take the same chords, just invert them a little. Oh, so. Oh, can't go to the E flat because it's out of range. Okay, hang on. Where do I get that F? It's not on a chord, but it's all over. That's what the funny note was. Confirm that is F concert. Oh, it's E flat concert. Oh, yes, but there is E flat concert. 100%. Okay, so I'm hearing accents on every first beat, but hopefully it's not necessary. Let's listen. It's almost inaudible, so if I do this, it's nice and strong. I don't want to copy this to flutes as well, unnecessary. I'll rather bring it over here. It's in perfect range for saxophones as well. Yeah, no problem there. Just my altos though, not the tenors, that's gonna get too low. And this is low for soprano sax, but because it's in unison with the horns, and the harmonic set is lower than the horns, you'll still hear the horns much above, but it's going to add extra color and depth there. I don't think I'm going to do too much with the reach because it's already very, very, very busy. So if anything is going to happen with the reach, it's only support the melody if necessary. We might take it up. So taking them away for a little bit like this and bringing them back like this, like a bass drop, it's effective and it keeps. I don't know, have you ever watched a show like what's that French Cirque du Soleil? I don't know how to pronounce it. You have multiple things happening. Someone can look over there and see something, and someone can look over there and see something, and your mind is occupied all the time. And that little tumble turns into this guy on a bike, it turns into that guy diving into a pool. This is a little like that. You frequently keep people, if it's a good conductor, he's going to point out the little things. You conduct the band, but you also conduct the audience. this here. Why am I going up? We're going to say, put it in the comments. I want to see you can get it right first. Okay, so there's a whole lot missing, but I'm just following my ears first, putting the little embellishments in. I'm not worried about that now. I'll come back to it. This long note of trumpets, which is really almost the climax of the piece. It's like any good movie, any good book, the climax is not on the last note necessarily. It's for horns to show off here. So take away. Let's go to concert picture. I don't have to think too much. This is high. Okay, I'm just going to write it here because you can't stay with horns. Symphony orchestra can do it, but it is too high. So I wrote myself into a corner. You know, when you paint yourself into a corner. So I have to find another solution for what my ears want me to do. Trumpets can do it. Oh. Remember, I told you your phoneme is a big French horn. First, write the dream. Okay, so that's the dream. Yes. Okay, so just watch what I'm doing now. I'm just getting it in the proper range because you want it wherever you do it, you want it in the higher range of the harmonic series for the instrument, and you can get away with a lot if you do it properly. And so I need to overlap this. I can't go down like I did here. A flat is perfectly in range. You see what I'm doing? It's all in unison. Okay, and it's actually no problem. There's not a problem to do that. Now, that won't happen up there, so I have to think of a different solution for the horns now. Okay, we can do that for everyone there. Because I've got the high, and that's all tonics. If not, why not? Let's give it some harmonies. And so this is insanely high for the first horn. So I'm going to ask my first horn to play that A flat. Let me show you it's an A flat. I'm going to ask my first horn to play an A flat because they can. If they don't jump to it, it's high, but it's possible. Second horn, I can't ask that off, so I'll have to do something. But now, for this guy to get it, I'm going to then play this important solo, break him out and bring him back in so he can breathe, get his lips dry, whatever he needs to do. Okay, that's pretty high. Okay, so now we support this guy. Down there. You don't want your third and fourth horn this high. Remember that C is a fifth up, it's a G already. Okay, now what we're going to do here. You see where we're going? Let's just show you into the first pitch. Okay, so now we can actually split the chord. You want him to land on that note, which is the B flat concept, which is the tonic, so I don't see a problem with previously, and to split it to make it easy. That one is going to be euphonium, which I want high to join the horns, and then this one will be the second trombone. It's just the easy way to do it. Okay, who wants to hear? Let's just see if this works. Mike still changed that last bar. These are just ideas. You can see there are empty bars here all over.
Okay, what is to come in the next video?
But don't do this with all your clarinets. My cordon bleu is bored, so let's help him.